What's going on, everybody? My name is Baloo and welcome to the jungle. This is the channel where we take a look at your favorite cryptocurrency projects and analyze them using the Wyckoff method. If that's the sort of thing that tickles your fancy, then why don't you hit the subscribe button? I do this every single day, except for the days that I don't. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the price of Bitcoin. I also want to take a look at Total 2. Total 2 is a representation of all of the altcoins. Just take a look at the health inside of the altcoin space and see if we should be really trying to invest in some of these altcoins. We're also going to take a look at COTI as well, COTI. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. So I just want to take a look at Bitcoin on the CME chart. So on the CME, you can see that we were in this Wyckoff reaccumulation. We broke out of the box and we came down for a bit of a test on the top of the Wyckoff box. It looks like I didn't draw my box as accurate as I should have. And it looks like if we went up there, yeah, more or less, you know, if we brought that down with the gap, it looks like we would have gotten a nice test. But we did come close. When you come close to a target but don't all the way hit it, it just means that the space is really bullish and eager to take a position on that asset. So it looks like Wall Street, I've been saying this for weeks, I think Wall Street is a little bit more bullish on the space than the retail traders. And, you know, I've been really analyzing Bitcoin's spot chart, and I think I've got to start analyzing the CME chart. As much as it pains me to say that, I think that the CME chart is turning out to be kind of the truer chart, because if we take a look at the Bitcoin chart on the Coinbase chart, you know, we have this pattern here that it looks very much like a distribution pattern. We've got several breaks from the upside, several breaks to the downside. It more or less looks like a distribution. We got a failure here, we got a failure here with a sign of weakness, and we've come out of it. But when we go and look at the CME chart, it doesn't look anywhere near the same. So we can draw a range on that as well. And this consolidation here, yeah, it's different. We do have that gap that's kind of messing with it, but you can see the volume that came in right after we fell out of the range and got bought back in. That's your spring action. We got a nice amount of volume on the spring. If we analyze this candle here, we can see that the effort, the volume applied, resulted in a 0.5% candle move. So we got 0.5% on this much effort. So there is still a bit of selling, whereas this candle here, it's a little bit smaller, but it actually got a 1.4% move. So although the momentum inside of Bitcoin is good right now, there's still a lot of supply entering the market. There's a lot of sellers. There's more sellers than there are buyers right now. So a lot of people are probably short selling or something to that effect. People just don't believe that it's going to continue to go up. So we'll have to see how this develops. This could end up just being absorption. So, you know, interpreting volume really requires you to think, what is happening? What is going on? So we have this sized candle and we have this size result. What is happening inside of the result, the effort versus the results? So we've got a lot of effort, not a lot of results, but you know, the sellers are applying pressure here. At some point, the sellers have to become exhausted. So you need to interpret, when you see these large candles, are the sellers just becoming exhausted, or are the sellers truly in control and unable to suppress the price any further? So that happens with some of the other candles around it. So, you know, yeah, we got a lot of selling pressure on this candle, but then look at how the volume drops off and we keep climbing. So we have declining volume on pretty good price action. If this trend continues, it would be safe to assume that there are very few sellers left and Bitcoin is ready to make, you know, one of its more substantial, larger moves, its bigger moves, those moves that kind of shake up things and really rearrange liquidity inside of the market. So we would be waiting for that. How is this affecting altcoins? So Total 2, for those of you who don't know, Total 2 is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So this is a representation of all altcoins, okay? And if we take a look at what's going on inside of Total 2, this pattern looks like distribution to me. It's certainly not showing the same bullish signs. So we've got our preliminary support right here. We've got our buyer's climax right here. I'm just going to draw on a range. Buyer's climax come down to our, I'm going to call that area right here, our automatic reaction. It was kind of zigzagging its way down, but we'll just call that the automatic reaction. We did get a sign of strength out of that. That was met with a sign of weakness, invalidating that idea. So we've got a lot of weakness inside of the asset right now. It's just a huge struggle. It's a big battle. You know, we're coming up, we're finding support on the lower end of the range, we're falling through. We're coming back, falling, coming back, falling, coming back, getting rejected, didn't even make it back in. Then we finally came in and seemed to have made a test, and we're building momentum off of that. But we've got a ton of volume here. So if we take a look at the VPVR here, we've got a lot of trading volume right here, and it does kind of taper off. So we've got a lot more volume below, a lot more support than we do have resistance. That being said, you know, we need to see some results. We need to see some action here. So I'm going to go ahead and say that for the time being, in the short term, Bitcoin is going to be the play. If you are looking to invest inside of this market, I think you're far better off to be looking at Bitcoin in the short term until Bitcoin can instill the confidence that is required for the altcoins to start performing better. And that means that we're going to have to let Total 2 come up to at least the top of the box. We need to see the whole altcoin space begin to recover, get to the top of the box, break these highs here, come up and test. If we can get a test on here and hold, then the altcoins would be back on to risk on, in my opinion. We can confirm that trend if we take a look at another market indicator, Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance has also been kind of in a consolidating range bound area here. Let's just remove these drawings and just start fresh. Let's go over to the daily. No, not the weekly, the daily. And we can see here, overall, we are in a, overall, we're in a higher low, higher high scenario. So Bitcoin dominance is rising. Until it starts falling, it's rising. So a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. You need to just keep your analysis really, really simple. People think that technical analysis is about predicting the future. It's about price targets. It's like making price predictions. This coin will be at this price in this year. If anybody is telling you anything like that, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just speculating, and you got to stop eating that stuff up because it doesn't make any sense. Bitcoin could cap out at 15 grand, and that's it. That's all that you're going to get. You may never see Bitcoin above 15 grand. I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I'm saying that that's how you have to think inside of this market. The market is going to give you what the market is going to give you. The market is its own beast, period. There's no logic behind it. There is zero logic. If the market doesn't want to perform, the market won't perform. If the market wants to give you a ton of money, the market is going to give you a ton of money. TA is not a crystal ball. TA is a way for you to ascertain good, statistically good entry positions into a trade. They allow you to identify support and resistance. They allow you to pick a stop loss that may not get triggered, and you can then allocate a position into that asset with, you know, a quote-unquote perceived advantage. But that's it. Traders are wrong all the time. Anybody says, hey, do this right now and this is going to this price, they haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue. Traders are wrong all the time. When we're analyzing the charts, we're just trying to identify strength and momentum. Look at the volume, okay? We have a lot of volume. We have a lot of interest entering the space. Just keep it really simple. The price is going up. The interest is increasing. People are becoming interested in the space. This is good. This is going to bring the price of a lot of these assets up as people start to buy it. It's really simple. So you have the price go up, it comes down, it starts to level out, starts to change direction again and go up. It's your job as an analyst to identify the point where the asset is changing direction and try and get into a position where the odds are in your favor that it's not going to go down, the odds are in your favor that it's going to continue to go up. You're going to hedge, you're going to protect that position with a stop loss, and you're going to ride your winners and you are going to cut your losers. That's it. So anyways, that's enough of a trading rant. If you are interested in learning a little bit more of the Wyckoff method, learning some traders methodology, I highly encourage you to join the Discord. I have a community of new investors, hodlers, day traders, scalpers, long-term investors, intraday traders, everybody. Everybody is welcome inside of the Discord. I have a lot of free resources. You have two options right now. You can either spend your money learning the lessons, or you can spend your time learning the lessons. And I highly suggest that you spend time educating yourself as a new investor, because in the eyes of traditional finance, if you have been trading for less than 10 years, you are a noob and you are considered quote unquote fresh meat, and they are going to do everything in their power to take your money. And you need to realize there's another person on the other side of the trade. When you hit execute on a trade, you're not buying a coin from Binance, you're buying a coin from somebody who's selling it. There is another person that is trading against you. Realize that. It's important. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other coins. And we're going to look at COTI. So COTI, at least on the Binance chart, it doesn't have a ton of history. Let's just switch over to the 4-hour. I like the 4-hour. 4-hour is kind of, a sweet spot inside of currency markets, and that tradition is kind of transferred over into the cryptocurrency market. So that's kind of where the 4-hour is coming from. So a couple things to just consider right off the bat. Let's just stretch this out a bit. We do have this downtrend. The downtrend has not been broken. We can draw a line here, bring it over here. We have not broken the downtrend, okay? But we also have a trend line of support that we can also draw as well. So we can carry that over here and we can drag that here, and it actually doesn't look great on the support end of things, because if we drag that up, it looks as though we have resistance. We have resistance on this line here that we have to break above. And then we also have this trend line that held us as support for a very long time. We have to break through that as well. So we have two levels of resistance, 2 points of interest that we want to keep an eye on as far as what we're looking for inside of COTI. So not only do we need to break through this level here, but we also need to get above this level and continue a higher high, higher low trajectory with good volume before we can start getting bullish on COTI. So for right now, it's just a wait and see. A lot of these markets, they take time, and you just need to be ready. You need to analyze the market and be ready for when the market is ready to give you a bullish price action. Be ready when it's ready to give. There's no swaying things any which way. This is not how, any market works. We need people to come in. There's a reason that we just had a bull market. And I was thinking about this today, and it's kind of interesting to think. So what is a bull market? A bull market is a fresh influx of new traders. And that's basically it. So what happened in March? The coronavirus happened. People were unemployed and they were sitting at home and they have their computer and they're surfing on YouTube and they're trying to find ways to make money online. And a way that became very popular, or a way that a lot of new users wanted to learn how to do, was trading. So from the point of the initial dump, from that point on, people, we had a huge influx of new investors come into the space. Fresh meat, quote unquote, coming into the space. And these people were making money because the stock market was in a recovery. It was recovering from the overreaction that happened as a part of the crash that happened in March. So all these people were not investors, and they decided to get into the stock market as the stock market was beginning to recover. So a lot of people were making money. They were telling their friends, and their friends were telling their friends. And we had a huge influx of new users coming into the space. We have a huge influx of fresh meat coming into the space. And then back in, beginning of September, it dumped. And that scared everybody away. And the people who are in the space now are frightened, and they don't know what they're doing. They were probably playing with margin. They were probably playing with leverage, and they probably lost a lot of money. So they don't have new capital to inject into the space. So what do we need to wait for? We need to wait for confidence to re-enter the space. We need to wait for new people to enter the space. And we need to wait for that new money to come in. Because essentially what this market is doing is, if you're in this market right now, you are trying to take the very little amount of money that's left out of these new investors and these people that are trying to make money inside of this market. So it's a very kind of ruthless way to think about the market, but it is what it is. It's people taking money from other people. That's what it is. When you put your money in, somebody's taking it. Whether they're taking it at a loss or they're taking it at a profit, that's what's happening when you're trading, when you're buying an asset. So let's go ahead and see what's going on inside of COTI right now with the Wyckoff analysis. We're beginning to develop a trading range. It's very tentative right now, but we do have our first higher low. So this level needs to hold. We need to see that this level holds. If it comes back down here, we know that this bullish idea is no longer valid. We do need the price action to move up. At this point, it'll probably reverse if we can hold again. You could make an entry right here, although make sure that this is not financial advice. I personally think that altcoins are a no-go right now. We could also be getting ready to come down to the bottom of the range if it was horizontal like this. So we could be coming down to this point of control right here. It's kind of not a really good idea, in my opinion, in my not financial advice opinion, for you to be getting into high risk altcoins right now. So it is what it is. You're going to do what you're going to do. But if you want to know the coins that really you should be focusing on right now, it's Bitcoin. And a lot of people probably don't want to hear that, but it's true. This is the natural cycle of these markets. The institutions are still buying Bitcoin. The money flow is still going into Bitcoin currently. I'm not saying that altcoins aren't going to make money. I just think that the play right now is Bitcoin. That's just what I think. And we need to flow where the money flows. If the money is flowing in Bitcoin, we should be trading Bitcoin. If the money is flowing into Ethereum, we should be trading Ethereum. If the money is going into DeFi, we need to be going into DeFi. You got to go where the money goes. This is not a kumbaya, let's all hold hands and fly to the moon, let's all buy this coin or that coin. That's just not how it works. You got to flow where the money flows. Don't get attached to any of these projects. You can always invest, but just don't invest more than you're willing to lose, and be okay with stomaching 80% to the downside, and you'll be just fine. That's not the way that I'm trying to work this market. I'm trying to leverage my ability and leverage my capital in the best way possible so that I have the money to invest large sums into the projects that I truly believe in. Well, that is all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed the content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And if there are any projects that you would like me to take a look at, please leave them in the comment section down below, and I will try to get to them in my next video. And until next time, trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.